Hello and welcome to this Moodle demonstration. In this short demonstration, we're going to look at the label function available within Moodle. And we're going to look how it can be used flexibly to add a range of different content to make our pages look a little bit more engaging, and also to kind of change the structure and the productivity and the layout in which our page is used and designed and looked. Um, so there are a couple of ways of doing this. The first way, we're going to do it the traditional way with the add activity resource, and then I'll show an alternative way to get a similar effect, but with kind of less editing features, although it becomes a lot quicker and easier to put together. So the first one we're going to look at is just adding a label itself. And to do this, we need to click the Add Activity or Resource button with editing turned on our web browser. Um, and in our scroll down list here, third from the bottom, you can see we have label. Now, I may have mentioned in other videos, on the right hand side it says the label module enables you to do etc, etc. So it gives you some advice on how you can use it. And it actually says here that it's recommended for sound files and videos, short descriptions, to split up a long list of activities with a heading or an image. So essentially you've got a blank canvas here that you can put any kind of content in to make it look attractive and different. And it's only really limited by your creativity and planning. Okay, so we're going to click the add button. And the beauty of this is it's very straightforward. We literally just get a box. We click the show editing tools and we've got the WYSIWYG, the what you see is what you get box to put stuff in. Now you'll be familiar with this because it looks very similar to Microsoft Word. We've got things like bold and italics and underline. We've got the font size and type, the formatting features with bullets and numbers and justification and so forth. We've also got some options here in the middle that allow us to put web links on, like we can with hyperlinks in Word, and adding a table and changing the color and style of things. So there's a few more features there as well that we can look at in detail at another time. But what we can also do here is we've got the insert image button, or we've got the insert Moodle media button, and we're going to go through these as we carry on. What I want to do first is I want to put a title to separate some content that I've got prepared that I'm going to add. So I'm going to call this the Moodle Guides PDF format. And I'm going to highlight this text. I'm going to make that quite big because I want it as a title. The font family, there are a few generic fonts available there, but if you don't pick anything, it'll just go for the default one on the page. But I'm going to pick the Verdana, and I'm going to highlight the Moodle Guides and make it bold. And the PDF format, I'm going to put in italics. And I'm going to save and return to course. And now what I'll have on my page is actually a title that will allow me to separate the content that I want. So in here, I'm going to put my PDF guides, as we've seen in other demonstration videos, and it allows me to break up the content. What I might want to do now is add a presentation underneath. So I'm going to add my presentation underneath, but I'm thinking, well, that doesn't sit with the Moodle guides, so I need to separate that. So I'm going to use another label this time in which to call this one presentations. And the same format as before, we're just going to type in the title and I'm going to make it the same font size and make it bold and the same font type. But this time I might change the color, maybe to something like dark blue, and learn how to spell presentations. And then we're going to click save and return to course. So now I've got another label, and using the drag and drop features within Moodle, I can move this around to split my content up. So when I take editing off and watch the page how a student would be watching the page, you can see here that I've managed to separate my content into kind of nice little chunks using the label function. So on a very basic level, you can use it for separating content. One of the other good features of the label is being able to add images and other content. So I'm going to click on Add Activity or Resource again. I'm going to find the label option here from the list. But this time I'm going to insert some images. So when I turn editing tools on, I can see I've got my blank box, but I want to put an image on there. So I'm going to click the Insert Image button. I'm then going to find my image. So I've got some options here, but I'm going to save it and find it from some images that I prepared earlier. So I would like to pick, let's see, this one here. Lots of people on a tube train. I'm going to click open and upload this file. And when I click insert and then OK, I can see that my image is there available in the box. Now, that looks quite big to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click back on the image, click back on the insert image button again, and at the top here I've got some options in which to alter this image, and I'm going to click appearance. And I can see with the dimensions of the picture it's quite a big picture. So if I change the height and the width of this, I'm going to change this to 400. When I click off that, it automatically constrains the proportions, so my picture is going to be a lot smaller. So I'm going to click update on there, OK, and you can see it's altered the size of my picture. I'm happy with the size of that, so I'm going to click save and return to course. And there's my picture embedded into my Moodle page. So I could use that alongside titles and so forth in which to break up content and give visual clues to my learners on the different topics and areas. Okay, so we can add images directly into the page without having to go through the label function. So here I have with my documents from earlier, and I'm going to drag and drop this picture. And it gives me the two options. So I can either add the image to the course page or the file resource. In this instance, we want to add the image to the course page. And when we click upload, it will automatically embed that picture directly into my Moodle page, which is really good because then it means that if I want to break up the content really quickly, I can do that just by dragging and dropping. And what you can also do with the text is if you've got the text open on a Word document, you can also drag and drop the text. The only downside is that you don't have as many editing features afterwards with being able to change the font and the size and the color. So depending on how you want to put it together, that's a quick way of doing it. Okay, so just to finalize and finish this demonstration, I mentioned that the label function can also be used to add other media content such as videos. So we're going to add a YouTube video. So we're going to find the label function and we're going to click add again. We're going to show the editing tools. We'll just make that full screen, and we've got the what you see is what you get. So this time, instead of the image button, we're going to click the insert Moodle media button. And we click that, we get a similar box to before, and we're going to find or upload the video. Now we've got three options here. One is we can actually choose our own file and upload. So if you've got your own media video that you've got saved on a memory stick, you can upload that and it will link to from the page. Or you'll notice on the left hand side here, we've got direct links to YouTube and eStream. So if you've recorded any TV content on eStream or uploaded any lecture captures or anything like that, you can access that directly. Or we can click on YouTube and we can search YouTube directly as well. So I'm going to search for something to do with blended learning and see what it comes up with. And see, I've got a whole range of different videos here. We've got the basics of blended learning, what is blended learning, and we can actually change the view here to make it a bit easier to see the videos. So I'm going to pick this one that I saw earlier, this one here, and I'm going to select the file, and we get a preview of what the YouTube video looks like. So we can actually click play on that.
Today I'm going to be talking about blended learning environment and what is blended learning.
So we can actually preview the video if we're not sure what it's going to be like before we insert it. I'm happy with that one, so I'm going to click insert. And you get this funny blue link now, which just gives you a title. Sometimes that's just gobbledygook and so forth, but that's showing me that it's embedded that video into the label. So now when I click save and return to course, the label will have taken effect and the YouTube video will be embedded in my page. So just to summarize, the label function is very, very flexible depending on how you want to use it. You can put together any combination of text, images, and video and web links, including tables and other things like that, to make it a little bit more engaging and attractive to learners. So that's the tool you want to be using to add the additional content, to make it look a little bit more appealing and to change the layout. Thank you for watching this short demonstration.